Have you ever stared up at the night sky and thought, why is there something rather than nothing? It's a simple question. You might ask it while gazing at stars during a sleepover or scrolling through photos of galaxies on your phone, but it slowly creeps into your mind and refuses to leave. At first, it feels almost childish, like something a curious kid would ask before bedtime. But as you sit with it, you begin to realize this question isn't simple at all. It opens a door, a very big door. Imagine this. You wake up on an ordinary morning. You stretch, you yawn. Maybe you pour a cup of coffee. Somewhere in that kitchen, all the atoms in the spoon, the cup, the table, and your very body are dancing with the same particles that make up distant stars. You hold everyday objects, and yet those objects are made of matter, matter that somehow came into existence. Right here, right now, there is something rather than nothing. How did that happen? This isn't just a poetic curiosity. It's a genuine mystery that has puzzled philosophers, scientists, and thinkers for centuries. And today we're going to take a journey from the simplicity of your morning coffee to the unfathomable depths of cosmic existence. We'll explore ideas so profound that they stretch across imagination, science, and philosophy, all while trying to answer the question at the heart of reality: why does the universe exist at all? Let's begin with something small, the atoms in your hand right now. Every object you see, every breath you take, even the light that reaches your eyes, is made of atoms. But what is an atom? At its core, it's mostly empty space. If the nucleus of an atom were the size of a grain of sand in this room, its electrons would be buzzing around somewhere near the walls. Empty, vast, mostly nothing. Yet from this nothing, everything arises. So here's where the wonder begins. If atoms are mostly empty space, why do objects feel solid? Why doesn't your hand pass through the table when you place your cup down? The answer lies in the dance of forces, the electromagnetic push and pull between particles. Electrons repel other electrons. This invisible force is what makes a table feel sturdy and your hand feel tangible. It's as if the universe writes its laws into the fabric of existence, making sure things behave in predictable ways. But why do these laws exist? Where did they come from? And here's where the question deepens. Could the universe have been different? Could there have been different laws where atoms don't form, where matter doesn't stick together, where life as we know it would be impossible? The Nobel laureate physicist who sparked our topic suggested something extraordinary. The odds of the universe existing exactly as it does are effectively impossible. That sounds dramatic, but let's unpack it slowly. Imagine a cosmic lottery. In this lottery, the numbers we draw are the fundamental properties of the universe: the strength of gravity, the charge of the electron, the expansion rate of space, and so on. Each of these properties had to land in a very narrow range for galaxies, stars, planets, and life to form. If any one of them was slightly different, just a tiny bit, the universe as we know it wouldn't exist. No atoms, no stars, no Earth, maybe no observers at all. Think of tuning a radio. There's a whole spectrum of frequencies out there, but only a tiny fraction plays the station you want. Slide the dial even a little, and all you hear is static. The universe's parameters are like that, fine-tuned as if dialed in just right. But why? Was it chance? Necessity? Or is there something deeper behind this cosmic tuning? To understand this, let's step into the strange and beautiful world of quantum physics. At the smallest scales, reality behaves like a dance of probabilities. Particles don't have definite positions until we measure them. They exist in a blur of possibilities. In that quantum fog, things can pop into existence briefly, like tiny fluctuations in a calm sea. Here's a mind-bending thought. Could the universe itself have emerged from one of these fluctuations? Some physicists propose that in the quantum vacuum, a state that isn't truly nothing but a bubbling field of potential, universes can spontaneously form. It's as if the cosmic sea occasionally coughs up islands of reality. But if that's possible, then why this universe? Why these laws? One idea physicists explore is the notion of a multiverse, an ensemble of many universes, each with different properties. In that vast cosmic web, ours is just one bubble where conditions happen to be right for complexity and life. In a sense, we exist because we couldn't exist anywhere else. This line of thought doesn't answer why there is something rather than nothing, but it suggests that among countless variations, we found ourselves in one where observers can exist. Still, the multiverse raises more questions than it answers. What is the space in which these universes exist? If they don't interact, how do we even detect them? And if the multiverse idea is true, what does that say about the uniqueness of our own cosmic story? Let's pull back for a moment and look at something familiar again: your reflection in a mirror. It's you, yet it's not you. It exists because light bounces off your face and travels to your eyes. Without that light, your reflection wouldn't exist. In a way, existence itself seems relational. Things appear only when conditions align. Now imagine that the very fabric of existence is like that reflection, appearing only when the conditions of the universe are just right. Perhaps the universe doesn't exist in some absolute sense, but only in the interplay between possibility and observation. This perspective is both poetic and scientific, deeply rooted in how quantum physics views reality. As we move deeper, a humbling truth emerges. Our universe might be just one chapter in a much larger story, one we are only beginning to read, and that's what makes this journey so beautiful. We started with everyday observations: the table, the morning light, the atoms in your cup, and we arrived at questions that touch the border of human understanding. You might be wondering now, if the universe shouldn't exist, then how does it exist at all? The truth is, science doesn't have a final answer yet. But in seeking it, we uncover layers of reality more wondrous than we imagined. We see that existence isn't just a backdrop, it's a dynamic, unfolding mystery. And so here's the real lesson. The universe asks questions just as much as we ask questions about it. Why do physical laws have the values they do? What is the nature of nothingness? Is there something beyond the multiverse? Each answer leads to deeper mysteries. In the end, perhaps the most profound insight is this: the universe feels impossible because our minds are built to see patterns and causes within the framework of existence. But reality, as science reveals it, is far more subtle and surprising. It's not just a collection of particles and forces. It's a tapestry woven from the very act of questioning. So the next time you look at the sky, or feel the weight of a book in your hand, remember this: you are touching a reality that defies simple explanation. You are participating in a cosmic story that is still being written. And maybe, which is the most awe-inspiring thought of all, the universe exists not despite being improbable, but because we are here to witness it. What if the act of asking why is there something rather than nothing is itself part of the universe discovering its own existence? Perhaps the universe isn't a static entity to be explained once and for all. It's a story that unfolds with every curious mind that dares to ask. And with that, I'll leave you with this question. If existence itself seems improbable, might the very act of wondering be the reason we are here in the first place? Let that sink in. Now let me take you even deeper into the tiniest building blocks that make up everything you see, the particles inside atoms. Quarks, electrons. These are not just abstract concepts. They are the fabric of reality itself. Quarks never exist alone. They are always bound together, forming protons and neutrons. Electrons, with their charge, orbit around them in a precise dance. And here's the astonishing thing: if just one of their properties were slightly different, one tiny fraction, the chemistry of the universe would unravel. Hydrogen, the simplest element, might never form. Water would be impossible. Life as we know it would vanish. Yet here we are. I can hold this pen, breathe this air, and think these thoughts precisely because these improbable conditions align perfectly. I've spent much of my life thinking about the early universe, trying to understand how a singular event could give rise to all this complexity. Imagine the Big Bang, not as a simple explosion, but as the birth of space and time themselves. Every law of physics, every particle, every interaction was set into motion with exquisite precision. If anything had been slightly different, the universe would have been a featureless void. No stars, no planets, no observers, no you, no me. The probability of the universe arriving at exactly this configuration is so small, it defies ordinary comprehension. It's like shuffling a deck of cards with all the possible arrangements in existence, and somehow ending up with the one perfect order that allows life to emerge. Some might say, well, maybe it was chance, but I find that idea difficult to accept when I calculate the numbers. The odds are so overwhelmingly tiny that chance alone seems insufficient. The universe is not just random, it is astonishingly, almost miraculously ordered, and yet we experience it as natural. We wake up, pour coffee, walk across the room, completely unaware of the delicate balance that allows these simple actions. That's the wonder. The universe's precision is hidden in plain sight, woven into the everyday. To understand how this is possible, we must venture into the strange, counterintuitive world of quantum physics. At the smallest scales, reality behaves like a symphony of probabilities. Particles do not exist in fixed positions until we observe them. They are waves of possibility, flickering in and out of existence. It is within this quantum sea that the universe itself may have emerged. Perhaps the cosmos sprang from a fluctuation, a momentary ripple in a field that is almost nothing, yet contains the potential for everything. And if so, why did it produce this universe, with these laws, these stars, these planets, these observers? That is a question that continues to puzzle me deeply. Some scientists suggest that our universe may be one among many, in a vast multiverse. In this scenario, countless universes exist, each with different properties. Some are chaotic, collapsing before stars can form. Others expand too rapidly for structure to emerge. In this immense landscape, it's inevitable that a few universes will have the right conditions for complexity and life, and we find ourselves in one of these rare universes, precisely because only such universes can host observers. In other words, we exist here because the conditions allowed us to exist at all. It is a humbling, almost poetic perspective. But even this idea leaves us with profound questions. What is the space in which these universes exist? What governs them, if anything? And what does it mean for our own uniqueness, if countless other universes might be out there, each with its own story? These are questions that border on philosophy, yet they arise naturally from the science. They remind us that understanding the universe is not just a matter of calculations and observations, it is also an act of wonder. Now I want you to imagine something very close to you, your own body. Every atom in you has traveled billions of years through cosmic history. Some of your atoms were once part of ancient stars, ejected into space in brilliant supernovae. Others formed planets, oceans, and air. You are quite literally made of stardust. And yet, more than that, you are conscious. You can reflect, wonder, and ask questions about the cosmos itself. The improbability of your existence is truly staggering. That you can sit here and ponder these ideas is a direct consequence of the universe's delicate balance. Time itself is part of this miracle. Without the Big Bang, there would be no before or after. Time and space, matter and energy, all emerged together. And the initial state of the universe, the incredibly low entropy, highly ordered beginning, was essential. If it had been even slightly more chaotic, stars would never have formed, galaxies would never have coalesced, planets would not exist, and life would be impossible. The very conditions that allowed you to sit and watch this video were encoded in that first cosmic instant. Consider the concept of entropy, the measure of disorder. The universe started in an astonishingly ordered state. Over billions of years, disorder has increased, yet that initial order allowed structures to form: galaxies, stars, planets, and eventually life. The odds of such order arising spontaneously are so low that it is almost impossible to imagine. And yet it happened. Somehow, existence emerged from improbability, giving rise to the rich, complex cosmos we inhabit. And if we turn our gaze to phenomena like black holes, the story becomes even more astonishing. These are regions of space-time where gravity is so intense that nothing, not even light, can escape. Yet they are not merely destructive, they are fundamental architects of the cosmos. They influence galaxy formation, star life cycles, and even generate ripples in space-time, gravitational waves that we can now detect. In a universe that shouldn't exist, such phenomena are reminders of the intricate, almost poetic complexity of reality. Even consciousness itself seems tied to this improbability. The fact that beings like you and I can emerge, aware and reflective, capable of marveling at existence, adds another layer of wonder. We are not just passive observers, we are participants in the universe, recognizing itself. Every thought, every question, every insight is a reflection of the improbable reality from which we come. And yet all of this begins with the ordinary: the table before you, the air you breathe, the warmth of sunlight. They are all manifestations of the universe's remarkable fine-tuning. Everyday life is infused with cosmic wonder, though we rarely stop to notice. Every cup of water, every step, every heartbeat is a reminder that the universe has conspired to make existence possible. As I reflect on all of this, I am constantly struck by a single thought. The universe does not merely exist, it exists in a way that allows us to notice, to question, to marvel. Our very curiosity is a testament to the delicate conditions that made us possible. Perhaps the act of asking, of wondering, is as fundamental to existence as the laws of physics themselves. We are, in a sense, the universe discovering itself. So as you look at the night sky, or feel the atoms in your hand, remember this: every star, every particle, every law of nature, and every conscious thought is part of an extraordinary story, a story in which impossibility became reality. And perhaps the most remarkable part of that story is that you are here to witness it. So let me leave you with this final reflection. If the universe is so finely tuned, so astonishingly improbable, then maybe our role as observers is not accidental. Perhaps the very act of wondering, of seeking, of marveling at the cosmos, is a part of the universe understanding itself. The universe shouldn't exist, but here we are, and in our awareness we find a miracle that is still unfolding.